This video is brought to you by North Berkeley Wine, importer and retailer of distinctive French and Italian wine. Visit them at northberkeleyimports.com. Welcome to Grape Radio, where an enthusiasm for wine gets personal. I'm Brian Clark.
And I'm Jay Selman.
And we're here in Shell Beach, getting ready to kick off a terrific weekend of wine, food, and friends at the World of Pinot Noir.
And we plan to drink a lot of wine and maybe even learn a few things.
All right, we're here with John Hager, who's going to be starting out with a seminar this morning. John, what are we going to be talking about?
We're going to try to wrap some context around Pinot Noir, so I thought I'd do a little bit heavy on the history this time to set a background for all that.
Has, with the sideways effect and everything that's going on with Pinot Noir, how has that changed this event over the last few years?
I don't know if it's changed this event enormously, except that it sells out faster than it used to.
All right, we're here at one of the afternoon tastings at World of Pinot Noir, and boy, we have 70, 80 wines to try.
Yeah, and they have it laid out really nicely, alphabetically, so you can approach it in a systematic way.
So let's get started before they run out.
I think that's a good idea. What are you drinking, by the way, right now?
This is a wine from Peter Kargasaki from Point Conception, and it's awesome. What attracts you to an event like this?
Well, actually, to be a name dropper, Alan Meadows is one of our best friends.
Okay.
And so we drove up with them today, and he speaks here, as you know, so we decided to come with him. I've been collecting Pinots and Burgundies for almost 20 years now, and it's my favorite grape varietal, so coming to a place like this is a wonderful event, so we're really enjoying it. Yeah, so far it's a lot of good winemakers, good speeches, good talks, a lot of conviviality. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, I wanted to find out a little bit about the seminar you attended today. You attended the Burgundy tasting that Alan Meadows moderated. What do you think of it?
Fantastic. I mean, to get that group of high-end, expensive wines together from 3 different vintages going back 10 years, you don't get to do that every day. It's wonderful to be able to see how they evolve over time. You expand the horizons of what you really expect when you come to a grand tasting like this. They set the bar pretty high. And you can go here and taste these younger wines and these new winemakers and say, well, they're on the road, but they still have a ways to go. Well, those guys were all very articulate. Alan Meadows is really fantastic. I saw him 3 weeks ago in New Zealand at a Pinot Noir festival there, and he's, the guy is everywhere. There's Pinot Noir, and he knows what he's talking about. But he also is, he's not coming from an arrogant, I know and you don't kind of aspect. He wants everyone to share his enthusiasm, so you don't feel you're being talked down to. I really like that.
So you guys this is your first release of this new wine. Tell us about it.
It's our new brand, partnership between James Ontiveros, myself, and Song and Ash. Song does the marketing for Native to the Ninth. I do the winemaking for Native to the Ninth, and James, as you know, is the owner, vineyard manager. We decided when we all got together to start a new brand that would start to focus on other regions of the Santa Maria Valley and source them for fruit with the potential of making some really interesting wines.
I think one of the things that's kind of unique about World of Pinot Noir is that they limit the attendance to a very manageable size. You don't feel overrun with the crowds, and that there's a really nice mix of both people that are on the winemaking side, on the commercial side, but also very avid amateurs as well. So it's not just consumers, it's not just winemakers, it's a beautiful mix of people from all parts of wine life.
Mark, I think of you as a Burgundy guy, well, more of a Burgundy geek. But here there's mostly California producers, so how does that fit in with what your taste profile is?
Yeah, it's a great question, and frankly, I enjoy both New World Pinot Noir and Burgundy. I would say Burgundy is clearly my first love, but the chance here is to get close to the winemakers, and in fact, I've met personal friendships with winemakers through this event, and I love to go up to Russian River Valley and help them on bottling days or crush and triage grapes, and I can do that in an hour and a half, where of course you can't fly to Burgundy and pop into a domain and do the same thing. So it provides a real hands-on experience. thing I've always found interesting about World of Pinot Noir, though, is you get some of the movers and shakers here into the dinners and the offlines and behind the closed doors, and Burgundy comes flying out of their satchels, and there's a lot of serious tasting that goes on, at least in the private rooms here. They may not bring it out in public, but it's well represented here, too.
So what makes World of Pinot Noir so special?
Well, I think you get an amazing crowd here. It's just they're really Pinot focused, really interested in the wines, really interested in just exploring all the new Pinots that are here.
Well, you can see it behind us, just going crazy for all these great producers.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tell us, now you do a report on Pinot. Tell us a little bit about that.
It is a at least monthly newsletter on Western Pinot Noir, which I consider to be anything west of Burgundy. And really it focuses on California, Oregon, and New Zealand. And we also talk a lot about food and matching and all the new producers that are out there.
We started making some wine in 2005, Pinot Noir obviously, small amount and growing, single vineyard Pinot Noir from Monterey. And our winery is called Lee Cellars, Leigh, which is my wife Debbie here. It's her middle name, Irish spelling.
Awesome. So how do you feel about your man being a winemaker now?
It's impressive. And he's doing a good job.
She never sees me anymore.
Exactly. You're missing now. So, well, great. So, you guys check out this new winery. Why do you guys come to an event like this? It's crowded, there's a lot of people. I mean, sort of nice, though.
Great Pinots? Why else?
Okay. And are you really finding some great Pinots?
Yes. Everybody is incredible. Haven't had a bad one yet.
I got to tell you, I haven't seen a line this long. I don't know how long. I mean, you're creating like a major fire hazard here.
It's fun. It's as wide as it is long, too. That's why I'm over here.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, what do you account for all the just incredible popularity of your wines?
Well, I think coming down here, this is one of our favorite tastings because this is the first time of the year to introduce our new line.
Okay.
And this year we only brought 5, but this is a great spot, great venue to introduce. And I think people kind of gotten used to this over the last 4 years, and the first chance they can try the 05s.
We've been honored and privileged to come here for 7 years. We love it. It's a fantastic festival. The weather, the people, a little cheese and wine. So it works out real well.
How many different types of cheeses do you have here?
Here probably we have at least over 100, maybe 150 different varietals. In our store we carry about 300 different varietals of cheese. But the beauty is that for us, what we want to do is we want to introduce a lot of people to lots of different flavors. There are so many different flavors from the wine side that we want to accentuate that with all the different types of cheeses. So whether it's cow's milk, goat's milk, sheep's milk, flavored with truffles, flavored with blue, soft, buttery.
And why does Pinot Noir pair so well with cheese?
Well, first of all, the flavor profile of wine and cheese always works. It's the best marriage because you're dealing with typical science, acids and bases. Outside of that, the flavor and the elegance factor of Pinot. Pinots can be either light and elegant and pretty, or they can be full-bodied, rich, fruit-driven, strong, very much like cheeses. So it really is a wonderful wine to go with lots of different cheeses that we have. If one cheese were the only cheese I ever served at a Pinot festival, the most decadent cheese called Époisse from Burgundy is that. However, since you're here, we happen to have the cheese that you had yesterday called Le Trou de Cru. It is basically the center cut or the donut hole of the Époisse. As you can see, it's soft, it's gooey, it's running outside.
Looks awesome.
And I'm going to ask you guys to just use your fingers because God gave you 2 hands to get into this. Earthy, salty, buttery, decadent. It has everything that you want from one of the great cheeses. Now, that's good. That's good.
So rich.
He said it, not me.